These earrings are lovely and shiny, but they do feel like actual hands pulling down my ears. Like, they're so heavy. Hello, I'm Florentina Faconti and welcome to another new release review. Today I'm talking about the new Denis Villeneuve film in cinemas, Dune. Before I start, make sure you've clicked on that subscribe button, and for any updates about my channel, make sure you're following my Facebook page and my Instagram at Florentina Faconti. Dune is part one of an adaptation of the novel of the same name. It tells the story of Paul Atreides, a gifted young man whose family has been appointed leadership over the desert planet Arrakis. The plot is very complicated, so if you want more detail than that, please go and look it up for yourself, because to be perfectly honest, I'm still not fully sure what's going on. I feel like I need to research into it a little bit more just to understand like the backstory of the characters and some of the terms that they use and like the world that it's set in. I'm not even going to say that I'm going to read the book because we all know that's a big fat lie. The film is quite long, and it also has its moments where it is a bit slower and a little bit more dragged out. So I personally found it hard to keep like full focus for the whole time. So somehow for me, there was both too much and not enough at the same time. I don't know, I'm still thoroughly confused and I'm definitely going to rewatch it. I think this is one of those films that you have to watch it a few times to kind of understand fully what's going on. However, that's pretty much all of my negatives, apart from one that I'll bring up a little bit later. But I did really enjoy this film. I think the biggest selling point with this film is the look of it. It's so beautiful, and visually I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you can make some comparisons, but overall it's really unique, and I found that so interesting. That was one thing that really stood out for me when I watched the trailer. Like, I was so overwhelmed when I watched it for the first time because there's so much to look at, there's so much detail. And in that respect, I was very impressed with this film and it didn't disappoint. I just found the whole atmosphere of it so exciting, and I would go as far to say that it is epic. While I'm talking about the trailer, I'd seen it quite a few times before watching this film, and what I found really interesting was it looked like it was going to give away a lot of the story. But while I was watching the film, I was thinking like how good that trailer was, because there were moments that were in a completely different context to what I was expecting. And there's just so much misdirection in it. I found that so clever. Character-wise, I got really involved in this and I was really invested in everyone's individual stories. I'll start with Timothée Chalamet as Paul, who I think did a pretty good job to lead this film. I've been quite indifferent about him in the past. I hadn't seen much of his stuff, and anything that I had seen wasn't too exciting. I think I was more focused on other actors. I have an ongoing beef with Jonathan, Man of Movies, about Timothée Chalamet. But I thought his performance was pretty strong in this and I enjoyed his character. However, as much as I thought he was good in this, it wasn't enough to completely change my mind, but I will be talking about that a little bit more in my review of The French Dispatch tomorrow. Another one who I really enjoyed was Oscar Isaac as the Duke. I think he's a phenomenal actor, and like the physicality and the stillness that he brought to this character just gave him so much power. It was just so engaging to watch. One performance that I didn't enjoy in this was Rebecca Ferguson's from a sort of technical point of view. I found what she was doing very self-indulgent because she had a lot of lines that were like explaining plot points and parts of the story that you needed to know. And although there was a lot of whispering in this film from everyone, which is already annoying, like please speak up, I just found hers completely unintelligible at times, and I just had no idea what was going on. I think that just added to my confusion about the plot, and I just got so irritated whenever she was in a scene. It might just be me, it might be my hearing, but it just kept making me really angry. But one person who I was very excited to see, and if you watch my trailer reaction you will know, it's Jason Momoa. You never know what to expect with him, and sometimes his performances are not as good as I want them to be, but I thought he was pretty good in this. He had a lot of action sequences and he really shone in those moments. But one thing I did bring up in my trailer reaction, I was not happy that they shaved his beard halfway through this film. I also love Zendaya, but I feel like we didn't see much of her in this part one. She was an important character to Paul's story, but what we saw of her were mostly dream sequences, so I'm just excited to see a little bit more from her character in the next one. Like I said, I need to rewatch it to clear up any confusion and also just to experience it again. It is a great cinema experience and I had a really fun time with it. And even though I did have a couple of negatives about it, I really enjoyed it and I'm excited to see if they make a part 2, which I'm really hoping that they do. So yeah, if you haven't seen it already, then go check out Dune in cinemas. Thanks for watching, give it a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want more of this, but as always, stay safe and look after yourselves. Bye!